Buenos días, clase. Last video, we talked about making comparisons, like, esta camisa es más bonita que el suéter. Okay, this shirt is prettier than the sweater. Sometimes you don't want to just compare two things. Sometimes you want to use what we call a superlative. That means like the most, the best, the least, the greatest. Okay, in order to do that, we're going to use this pattern. It is the object, most or least, plus your adjective. So this one gets a little more complicated. I put a couple of examples, and then I want you to really practice this at home with as many objects as you can. Even if you want to use the same adjective every time. This pencil is the shortest pencil in the class. This book is the shortest. I don't care if it really makes sense, except that I want you to practice the formation of the sentence because it needs to become natural. And this one tends to give students a little more trouble than just making the comparisons because it's a little bit different than English and can just kind of jar you a little bit until you get it natural. So just take any school supplies, clothing, whatever it is that you want to talk about and say it's the most somewhere. So let's look at these examples. An ensayo is an essay. So this essay is the most important essay of the year. Maybe not in the world, but of the year. So what I started out with, there's my es, el ensayo, it's the essay, más importante, most important, okay? I could have stopped there. Es el ensayo más importante. It's the most important essay. But I'm going to give it some parameters. Is it really the most important essay of all time? Not necessarily. I want to say of the year. So to do that, I use de la or del, depending on what word I'm going to follow. And this year is masculine, so I'm going to use del, which is the masculine form. Del año, okay? Es el ensayo más importante del año, okay? I could also use less than, the least, okay? I want to say this is the least pretty shirt in the mall. So I could say, es la camisa menos bonita. It's the least pretty shirt. But if I want to give it parameters, where? Ever created? Ever in the world? In the United States? No, just in this mall. I've seen uglier, but just in this mall, it's the least pretty shirt. So I'm going to say, es la camisa menos bonita del centro comercial. Okay? It's the shirt least pretty of the mall, is how that directly translates, literally, word for word. Okay? So we start off with es, the object, menos with our adjective, or más plus the adjective, and then this part is optional, del centro comercial, del año, de la familia, de la escuela. There's lots of parameters you can use in the school, in the family, this year, this in the mall, in the country, okay? So just follow this very clearly, follow the formula, and then get it down. Again, the more you practice, the more it becomes natural because we don't want to think in formulas or you're not going to be able to speak Spanish well and when you want to meet someone. So definitely practice over and over again. I think this is pretty straightforward. If it is, these are the ugliest, you would say son las botas más feas del mundo. These are the ugliest boots in the world. So it follows the same pattern, but use son and los or las. Okay, and then the object, más o menos, and then your adjective. Make sure your adjective ending ends in an S because it's a plural object, so you have to make your adjective what we say agree or match an ending, which is where you're going to use the S. Okay? Hopefully this is helpful. Good luck. Hasta luego.